Here's the snapback. Here's the kick. He's got the leg into it. If it is good, and it is! Austin Starr, a 49-yard field goal, and Indiana leads 27-24.
Oh, it's an end around one to throw. Page looking at the quarterback, and it's a touchdown! Page finds Leno!
Penix rolling out of the pocket to his strong hand. Delivers deep down the field. Caught, touchdown! Fried Fogel again.
Welcome to the 2020 season in review. This is the LEO podcast. I'm your host, Michael Bragg. You can follow me on Twitter at Bragley, Braggley. I'm here with my co-host, Brandon. You can find him on Twitter at Brandon Dubich. That's Brandon spelled traditionally. Dubich, D-U-B-I-C-H. What's up, Brando?
I can't wait to piss off all the olds and talk about how this is the greatest IU team ever.
Yeah, all the olds. I hope one of the 4 people that subscribes or listens to us is one of the olds. But yeah, for sure. Let's talk about the season, man. What a shit year, but what a great season. 6-2, finished 12th in the AP, 13th in the coaches. I guess you can say we finished 11th in the college football playoff rankings because they don't do another one after we lose. So wins, Penn State, Rutgers, Michigan State, Maryland, Wisconsin, and then our losses are combined 13 points at the national runner-up and against the Ole Miss Rebels.
To be fair, we played Ohio State in Columbus, and we played an SEC team in the South. You know, next time, bring that SEC team up to the North and play on our home turf. That's why we lost.
Yeah,
that's why we lost. We played it in the South. Like we got to play an away game. It's not fair.
Where would we go? We'd have to go to like the Pinstripe Bowl again. No, I guess we could play them in like the Papa or the Little Caesars Bowl or whatever that thing's called now in Detroit.
I'm just so like, remember when the Big Ten didn't want us to have a season? Like that's what makes us almost so much bittersweet is we almost never got this story. Like if it wasn't for the ACC and the SEC not giving a flying fuck about the global pandemic, we would have never got to see the Indiana football Hoosiers break 1 million records and become a national storyline. So, I say a little bit in jest of the greatest team IU football's ever had, but I absolutely mean that. Like so many times we say we're unlucky. We're lucky that we had a season, and this was probably one of the most enjoyable, regardless of level, whether it's my Steelers or Penguins or whatever. This was one of the most enjoyable seasons of sporting I ever had to watch.
Yeah, and I think we've talked about it on multiple pods in the past about how I don't think this is a one and done. This isn't some fluke season that happened. You add in the non-conference, and the non-con this year was pretty easy. So you're looking at a 9 and did we play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we only played 7. So, but if we would have played Purdue, I'm assuming we win that. And then one other one, maybe Minnesota, who had a down year this year too. I mean, you're still talking 11 wins. I think 10 wins, 11 wins, 11 and 1.
11 wins. Yeah, you got the two Big Ten games that got canceled. They wouldn't have done the extra Big Ten games. So 4 games got canceled.
But you still would have had 12 regular season games, 3 non-conference, and 1 more Big Ten game, which would have been Minnesota, I think, and then Purdue.
Yeah. So there we go. 11. Again, if the narrative is 11-2, I think this is no doubt the best season.
Well, we would have been 11-1. Do you think we still would have gone to the Outback Bowl at 11-1?
No, they wouldn't have put us against Ole Miss. That's for damn sure.
Yeah.
So no, but I don't even care, man. All of that aside, we've beat Penn State, but we haven't beat Michigan. The win in Wisconsin, in my opinion, was the most impressive win, especially given Tuttle's performance in the Outback Bowl. Just so many records, so many unprecedented things. God, this season was just a fucking blast.
Yeah, it was. And you started off by talking about how this is possibly the greatest IU team ever. Let's go over why we think it could be the greatest IU team ever. It's the first time we've ever beaten the big three. I'm not going to say big four. I don't think there is a big four in the East. I don't think Michigan State should ever be part of a big four of anything unless it's like basketball in early March. Okay. But that's about it. Highest rankings. Is it ever
Yeah.
in the AP and coaches, and obviously the college football playoff, national coach of the year and one of the awards, unanimous Big Ten coach of the year, both of those awards, and then two third team All-Americans. Debatable third team for Micah, but we'll take it. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, single digit rankings for IU football. Consider those things I never thought I would ever say. I did not believe. I mean, you would have had to tell me that's in a video game, not real life, in single digit rankings. It's unfathomable. Now, wins over the big three, teams have bad seasons, and I think that could have happened. But the reason we had potentially the greatest team ever is because of the coach. We're obviously the LEO podcast. We're obviously very big backers of CTA. And we go as he goes. So, and how can you not love the guy?
Yeah. Love each other, man. You have to love him. Have to. So, I said big three earlier. I mean, obviously we didn't beat Ohio State, but we did beat. I'll throw Wisconsin in since they're like the only big one in the West. Maybe Iowa, but there's nobody else any good in the
What
West.
was your most impressive win?
This is gonna sound funny. My most impressive, I think it was Maryland at home, to be honest with you. And I'll tell you why. Because Penix had a god awful game.
Like he was 6 of 16 when he went down, 7 of 19. Like it was really bad.
Yeah, he was terrible. And then I'm not saying Maryland's like some, incredible team, but that's a team that can put up a lot of points.
And historically, that's the letdown game that IU football has happened. I mean, how many times, what was it? Minnesota last year. You can go through the record over the years and be like, well, we didn't go to a bowl because we lost to Bowling Green. Oh, we didn't go to a bowl because we lost to Navy. IU football always has that one loss that you're just like, damn it, man. And that Maryland game had every makings of it could be that game with Penix's play, Penix's injury. Like you mentioned, the ability they have to create home run plays. But Tom Allen's different.
That's right. Yeah, and that Bowling Green game hits a little close to home, man. I was there. So to lose to Bowling Green with Tevin Coleman, Nate Sudfeld, Cody Latimer, touchdown Teddy, like that's just embarrassing. Speaking of players, let's do this, man. Let's get into it deep. I'll let you start. Let's do players of the year.
Yeah.
On each side of the ball, and then we'll do special teams or a coach. If you want to pick a coach, you can pick a coach. I'll let you start on offense. Who's your player of the year?
I'm really happy you let me go first, because dude, it's so freaking obvious. It's Michael Penix, right? Like he's by far, again, he plays the most important position on the field. There was no more apparent offensive play on the field when he left than when he came back off. I mean, you're saying players of the year. I read this as most valuable. He was clearly the most valuable. Stevie's important. Ty Fry's important. There's players on the line of scrimmage are important, but he was by far the most valuable, and he showed that when it unfortunately became Tuttle time.
Fortunately, you can't say unfortunate and Tuttle time. You can just say time for Jack Tuttle to come, because Tuttle time is at Wisconsin. Jack Tuttle playing with a separated shoulder is lost to a shit
I love
SEC
how you
team.
stick to your guns, kid. Stick to your guns and don't ever change. Become a Karen on Facebook.
But so you took one of my two, so I made sure I picked a second one just in case you
I had
snatched him
two
up.
as well. I had two as well.
So my other one's Ty Fry. And the kid's been a pretty consistent wide receiver. He's really only seen the field his sophomore, junior, and senior year now. But he hasn't been great. This year, he's been great. This year with Penix, again, he was great. I mean, the first wide receiver ever to go over 200 yards in 2 consecutive games ever in Big Ten history. Big Ten wide receiver of the year, 3rd team All-American, which we mentioned earlier. The best news of everything, the kid's coming back for some reason. So, I mean, it would be nice if other players would come back that we would have already touched on and maybe touch on here coming up. But that's mine. I mean, it's 2 pretty easy low-hanging fruits to pick from. And I think we picked them both.
There could have been other guys had the season going, in a different direction. I don't think we have another running back that could have replaced Stevie. Just unfortunately, Penix and Ty Fry had better seasons than Stevie, but I think he's a hard guy to replace. We'll talk of that in future pods. So he was my other one. I didn't have Ty Fry in there because, I thought in games he didn't play, we had other wide receivers step up. So my other guy would have went, if you went Penix, I was going to go Stevie.
Yeah, I think we have differing opinions on Stevie Scott. I love Stevie Scott, but I think we'll be fine next year. I don't think that's going to be a problem.
So does this mean you get to go first on defense then?
I think my defensive one's pretty easy. I think everybody that listens,
I don't know who you're going to
4?
go. It's going to be between 2 guys, and I honestly don't know who you pick.
I'll tell you who my 2 guys are after you pick your second one. But on defense, I even put next to the bullet point. Jamar Johnson is my player of the year on defense. He led the team in interceptions, forced fumbles, and second in tackles behind Micah, and very close second behind in tackles too. The kid's just, I'm going to miss him, man. He's a playmaker. And hopefully he can translate into the next level next year and on Sundays. And hopefully for a team that I don't hate, like anybody really from the AFC North. So that kid is my defensive player of the year. Let's hear who yours is. I think I've got a good idea who it's going to be.
So yeah, so for me I took this as MVP. So in the same vein of Michael Penix, in my mind, it's the most important position on a 4-2-5, and that's the position Micah McFadden plays. So I think the defense goes as he goes, and not so much on a stat, but on a leadership. I mean that guy. Literally his IQ, his passion, his leadership. He's everything you want in a guy running it in the middle. He's absolutely a piece that, while you might be able to find somebody more talented than him, than I think some of the guys behind him are, it's those intangibles that make Micah McFadden, in my mind, the defensive MVP. And when you put this outline together, that's how I read this segment, was the MVP on each side of the ball. And for me, Micah McFadden is a no doubt unanimous decision.
Yeah, that's not who my second one was. I tried to see, you always gave me so much shit from other pods for always picking the easy ones. So I thought about.
So I stole that from you. How does it feel? How does it feel for your the other person to just take the layups?
Yeah, right. It felt like what Purdue was doing to Archie Miller the other day. So
easy layups out of under. This isn't a basketball pod.
No, it's not. We'll leave that to those crazy people. But so my other one was Tywone Mullen, and I'll tell you why. The reason you're not going to see his stats jump off the page, the reason that you're not going to see, a whole bunch of highlights for him is because that dude is an island, man. Like he is. I've said it before. It's Mullen Island out there. It's Rebus Island, 2 or 3.0, whatever one was after the Jets. But the kid's a first team football writers Association All-American, but he's not an All-American in anybody else's team. Nobody, not even an All Big Ten team. Or wait, was he? I think maybe a second or third team All Big Ten, but the kid doesn't get any press because they don't throw the ball to. They can't throw the ball to his side of the field. So that's why I was looking so forward to seeing him against David Bell again, or Rondell, whoever he went up against, because I mean this kid's a special talent, and I hope that we can pull his brother in too. So
yeah, so here I have Taiwan Mullen on here too, but for kind of a different reason than what you're saying right now. And we're going to go into this a little bit more when we talk about that, this possibly being the greatest IU team ever. When we're thinking about this 2020 season, a decade from now, when you and I have our own show on Sirius Radio and we can reflect how we started, with the LEO podcast, Taiwan Mullen's still going to be playing football in the NFL. When our kids are super getting into NFL and they're around 10, 12 years old, they're going to still be able to get a Taiwan Mullen NFL jersey. You and I are still going to be watching him play on Sundays. As much as I love Jamar Johnson and Micah and Penix, and those guys might have, solid NFL careers, I think Taiwan Mullen has the chance to be a perennial Pro Bowler. That's the type of skill he has. So I don't think he necessarily was a player of the year or an MVP for that defense, but he is by far the most talented. And again, he is just going to have such a great career. He's just a good, talented kid. And, in some of the veins, how, a little bit more on the basketball side than the football side, but I think he's going to be such an endorsement for IU football. He was as a high schooler, he is as a college player, and I think he's going to continue that into his NFL career. I think he's going to be a great ambassador for Tom Allen and Indiana.
Yeah, and as I said, if we can pull his brother, a higher ranked recruit coming out of high school, higher ranked than both of his older brothers. So, I mean, that is what that is. It doesn't really matter. But still, if we can keep that Mullen name in there, if he's anything like Taiwan, then we'll be set for another, 6 years down the road. So, let's move on to special team / coach. Who you got?
So I'm not going to take the layup on this one. As much as I feel like I bring up Hayden Whitehead every podcast, he's not the one I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with a coach because there was such speculation when Coach DeBauer left last year, and play calling. Could Sheridan, internal hire, have never done it before, thought we could go out and get a splashy name like we did, I think, this year with defense. I think Nick Sheridan, he obviously had a lot to play with Michael Penix, but I thought he did just an absolutely wonderful job. And we've lived in a situation where we had a awful, God, I forget who was DeBoard. Remember when we had DeBoard? We had some serious NFL talent. Not NFL, but we had some good talent. And DeBoard just was absolutely incapable. And I think a lot of people kind of had that expectation for Sheridan because Sheridan was around with DeBoard. And I think he came in and just impressed so much, kept things fresh, kept things new, put players in the right positions. So I'm not going to take the layup and take Tom Allen or, the other special teams player. So I'm going a little bit of a wild card and saying our season is drastically different if we botch the offensive coordinator position. And it turned out that we didn't.
So that's my other pick, actually. I've got another one on special teams. That's not the layup that you thought it was going to be, but back to Sheridan real quick. I totally agree with him coming in, having the injuries that we had. We had a slight drop in overall offense that I looked up, but again, without having those cakewalk non-conference schedule,
you didn't have the padding of the stats, and he didn't get the offseason to put his playbook in. That's what makes what he did so much more impressive. And again, so since you didn't take it, I'll take it. I mean, Chucky Campbell, if we're talking about, special teams guy, he's incredible and he has a chance to play on Sundays. But again, that's why I think new coordinator who hasn't done it before without an off season, the offense he was able to put on against the likes of Michigan and Ohio State. I think were just wonderful game plans. I think with a bad offensive coordinator, there's no way in hell we beat Wisconsin.
No.
So, I can't wait until Nick Sheridan is the next IU coach that gets plucked by a team to be a head coach.
Yeah. Do you think when he was a GA at Tennessee that he was stuffing McDonald's bags full of cash or no?
I don't know. God, what a just absolutely shit show is that Tennessee program.
Yeah, it couldn't have happened to a worse program. I mean, never mind. Let's move on. So yeah, my
Good old Rocky Top.
Oh God, just
Rocky
still gives
Top,
me nightmares,
Tennessee.
man. Still gives me nightmares. Just to hear the entire, like what felt like it had to have been 200,000 people singing.
Good. Give us more recruits, Tennessee, because it clearly worked out with Big Dick
with Penix. Yep, that's right. So yeah, let's go talk about who my pick's going to be, and that's Chuck.
Yep.
Chucky Campbell, man, 10 of 11 on field goals, 25 from the extra point spot. But here's the most impressive thing. I mean, this first year full-time kicker, other than pretty much single-handedly beating Purdue or helping beat Purdue at the end of last year, he didn't really do too much. But this year he comes in, he's 3 for 3 from 50 plus, including, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, the school record 53-yarder. Is that a school record?
It sounds right. You're the fact checker. I'm normally the one that just talks out my ass. So I'll let you go ahead and verify that fact. I've called him a weapon, which is exactly what he is. It just shows again, I've said this before on other podcasts. It just shows the commitment to the other intangibles that Tom Allen focuses on that other coaches don't. You brought up a great point. How many times does Alabama not have a kicker? How many times does some of these other programs absolutely not have a guy that can kick it past 40 yards? Tom Allen continues. Again, IU has a pretty long history of kickers. Austin Starr against Purdue seems to be one that comes up to mind, but that we may have played in the intro a few times. But yeah, dude, he's a weapon. Kickers don't leave early. He's going to be around for a couple more seasons, and he's a Brandon guarantee. He wins us 3 more games in his career before he hangs it up. He has 3 more game winners.
Is that going to be a new special section, the Brandon guarantee of the week?
Oh, sure.
Hopefully it's not. It's
like our show.
Bets.
We can do what we want.
That's true. That's true. By the way, Griffin Oaks owns the longest field goal kick in school history. That's 58 yards. I was there. It was against Maryland. I was there. But so I should have remembered that. But anyway, we've got a defensive coordinator to talk about, or possible defensive coordinator. It's not official yet, but before we do that, let's talk about our sponsor. Our sponsor is the Monon Track Club. Today's episode is sponsored by the Monon Track Club. Monon Track Club is Indiana's running brand built on a deep love for the sport in the Hoosier State. They craft products, tell stories, and create experiences that aim to celebrate, support, and add to Indiana's running culture. They have 6 shirts, hoodies, stickers. You guys need to go out, check out the website, show your Indiana pride, support a small, well, he's not small. He's not big, but he's not small. But it's a small business owned by an IU alumni. And as a thank you to our listeners, they're going to offer 10% off your purchase. So go to monontrackclub.com. Use the code LEO10. That's LEO10 at checkout. Check out the show notes for the link. And now let's get back to the show. We were talking about the possible DC.
Yes, dude, I love this. I absolutely there's not an aspect of this I don't like. It fits the mold of what we want. It's a younger guy who has been of places of note before, and we've struck gold on that on both sides of the field. And the thing that I love the most is where he's where he's been, what programs he's been at, and where he recruits. You know, I went on a long tangent a couple podcasts going, say, look what Tom Allen can do with high-level 2-stars and 3-stars. Can you imagine what Tom can do with high-level 3-stars, 4-stars, and maybe we will finally get our first 5-star. I think recruiting was almost the sole reason why we brought this guy in, and I think it was absolutely the right play.
Yeah, I agree too. And so since I'm Mr. Fact Checker, I did some fact checking on this guy. I wanted to see how he was as a DC. First off, he's a vet. He's an Air Force veteran. He played 2 years there, 2 or 3 years, and then he did his 6 years of service. So he became the DC there in 2008 at Air Force and was there until 2013. When he took over, they were awful. Before they took over, they were somewhere in the 110s. He put them in the top 50 in scoring defense all of the 5 years that he was there. And then the year that he left, they dropped to 118. So I don't know a whole lot about the actual defense that he runs. I try not to put too much stock into that kind of setup at a school like Air Force. I'm in no way, shape, or form saying that IU football is above Air Force football at all. But we should.
History would say we're not.
No. History would say we're above nobody in football, technically, in wins. Although we may have jumped Wake Forest this year. I don't know. I don't know how much more we have to go, but
see, that's what I mean. I didn't mean to call you the nerdy stat geek. I meant to say listeners should believe 100% of what you say because you don't talk out your ass. Me, 60 to 70% you should probably take. 30 to 40, I might be making it up.
Switch those around. But yeah, you touched on kind of his recruiting and all that stuff. You know, he was at Nebraska, North Carolina, Tennessee, Florida, and Georgia now. And then he's going to come up to Bloomington. So hopefully we can translate what he's learned at those other programs. Maybe not at Tennessee or Nebraska, but what he's learned at North Carolina, Florida, and Georgia would be nice to bring into our program and kind of.
Well, yeah, the thing I think about all 5 of those is they're not upstart programs. You know, they almost any coach in the nation would want to go coach at one of those schools, right? So you must either be very impressive internally or have intangibles externally, and probably a mixture of both if you wind up on a staff at any of those schools. So, you know, that's just an A++ resume that we're getting in an area that we build our team around. I didn't know this guy, but I couldn't imagine anyone else we could have gotten that could have been better.
Yeah. I don't know. I was kind of leaning towards Lane's brother. I think that's more of just a name hire.
It's not. The benefit of that would have been he was coming from the NFL. And you can sell, because I mean that's how we're selling our strength coach, right? Like he worked with this guy and this guy and this guy and this guy in the NFL. So I mean we there was definitely that NFL hook that we could have gotten with an NFL guy, but you know I also think that wasn't realistic. I think Coach Warren was realistic, and it obviously happened. What do you think a nickname he gets is? Because you know Coach Kane Womack, everyone called it Coach Warren doesn't really go. I'll look forward to what the rabid IU fan base, just kidding, gives him for a nickname, because it seems like every single one of our coaches has some kind of goofy nickname.
Chucky Dubs.
See, that's what we got you in here for.
Warren C.
There we go. Chucky Dubs. No, done. It's already over.
What about Warren C? What about Warren C?
No,
instead
Chucky
of Warren
Dubs.
G.
That's it. Hang it up.
Warren, C. All right. So, speaking of wrapping it up, let's get to some questions, or do you just have questions for me? What is
I
this that you're
do. I mean,
talking about?
especially considering, the a coaching vacancy. Does running back coach matter? I listened to our pod last week, and I kind of went into this tangent about how losing Mike Hart's important. Is it? I mean, he obviously brought in some recruits. Did I overreact on losing Mike Hart? And does that hire matter at all?
No, it doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Doesn't matter
that's
at all.
That's what
No.
I thought after hearing how stupid I sounded last
I
week.
haven't even seen any candidates. I'm assuming something internal, probably. But again, I don't know. I don't know if we have any GAs that we could pull up. I know one of the GAs is Danny Friend, former tight end, but I don't
see. I think you
that's
said. I think
somebody.
it doesn't matter. I think I made a mountain out of a molehill, and our coordinators and Tom Allen can probably replicate the recruiting success Mike Hart.
Yeah, you could just move Nick Sheridan. I mean, Nick Sheridan could be the OC and the running backs coach or something.
Yeah.
It doesn't. I don't think it really matters.
So my next question, that was the easy one. Now this is a little bit tougher of a question for you, Mike. Because again, this is a season in review pod. What does IU have to do next year to beat this? I think you and I are both saying that this is the best IU season ever. What does it have to be next year to surpass it? Is it Big Ten championship game? Is it winning a New Year's Six bowl? Is it because I don't think we probably go 11-2 next year. Like is a 9-4 season, is an 8-5 season better than this one if we win a better bowl? Like what does that mean?
I think just winning a bowl game. Now that you said that, I was gonna go say let's win at if the schedule stays the same. Let's take a look at it real quick. If the schedule stays the same, and I don't want to sit here and do this pod yet, because we start at Iowa.
Yeah, we don't need to do a schedule breakdown. If you're saying getting over the bowl hump will make it better than this year, I disagree. I think the milestones we hit of who we beat, getting into single digit rankings, I think the only way, I think I see two scenarios. Two scenarios this season is better than this one that we just happened. Either A, we beat Ohio State.
That was the other one.
Or B, we get into the Big Ten championship. Some kind of three-way tie between us, Penn State, and Ohio State. And
I think if you beat Ohio State, if the first one happens, you're sitting pretty for getting into the Big Ten championship. That's the hurdle. I mean, I think Michigan. I don't know if Michigan has a bounce back year or not. I don't know if Penn State has a bounce back year or not.
That 5-star quarterback that they brought in, he's bad. Dude can't throw the ball.
I can't.
Kind of
imagine,
integral to the position.
Yeah,
play.
You would think. I can't imagine that they just extended Harbaugh for another year of what just happened.
6-year extension. I'm getting from our producer 6-year extension.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. And yet we still haven't extended.
I mean, that was strictly to keep the recruits. I think Michigan has so much money that was simply so teams can't negative recruit. When you're at that level, you have the negative recruiting as much as you have the positive recruiting for yourself. So I think that Harbaugh extension was a facade. Michigan has enough alumni and booster money to cut them out immediately. So.
Yeah. Or to keep the recruits. So yeah, I think either beating Ohio State or winning a bowl game would be nice. So that would knock off one of the three numbers that Allen wrote down when he walked in, which were the last time we won. Was it last time we won the Big Ten? Last time we won a bowl game? I can't remember what the other one was, but it would knock off one of them for sure.
Yeah, no, for sure. I don't think winning a bowl is enough, but it will certainly cross off one of those things that Tom Allen has on his to-do list. again, it's going to be tough to surpass this year. I don't think it's set in for fans yet. Just how important and impactful this season was.
Yeah. Yep. What's the next question? Did you have three?
Last question, and this isn't. I think we'll be asking this every year. In our season review for the next half a decade, with the state of Indiana basketball, could Indiana football surpass Indiana basketball with the state of the programs, especially with the younger generation?
I texted you this the other day. I don't know what kind of grip Archie Miller has on the students that are there. I don't understand it. I have no idea. But my brother is obsessed with this dude, man. And his friends are obsessed with this guy. Like, I don't understand it. You know me, like
the program, in my opinion, the programs couldn't be on different trajectories.
No.
It's almost like a roller coaster where basketball is just on a death spiral, and the IU program is just that slow moving kink. Again, because we didn't get to the Big Ten championship this year. We didn't win the bowl game. We didn't finish in the top 10. So it's not like we're going 0 to 60 up that roller coaster ramp. Tom Allen's building a steady incline, and that's what just kind of got me thinking that it's not going to happen this year. It's not going to happen next year. But there seems to be a very bright light at the end of the tunnel for IU football. It's complete darkness on the other side of that program. So again, that's why I mentioned I think we'll be talking about this at the end of every IU football season. But yeah, it's just something to keep in mind, especially for the younger fans.
Yeah, and I think that they're on board, man. I think that we've seen it. Look at the last 2 years.
There's a reason, again, and this isn't what this podcast is about, but IU football social media does such a good job showing how many impressions we've made on Twitter, how many interactions. IU football, I think, was the 7th or 8th most popular program in Twitter interactions this year. That means something to nowadays fans. That seriously means something. And again, it's not going to be more popular this year. It's probably not going to be more popular in 5 years. But if Tom Allen can turn us into, a Michigan State, if not greater, I think we could see that transition sometime over the next decade. Again, when we're on Sirius Radio talking to thousands and not singular amount of people.
I think it'll be that, or whenever the banners just just deteriorate and eventually fall down. So.
Greatest March Madness team ever, man.
That's right. We have to take up an entire side of the arena for that banner.
Just wait till we hang a Big Ten championship. Just wait till we hang a Big Ten championship with Tom Allen. That's another. I'm getting a little greedy. Listeners are getting 2 Brandon guarantees. We hang a IU football Big Ten championship before we hang a basketball national championship.
I agree. Can we stop talking about basketball? Now I got to put this in like the comments and stuff. And now I'm going to get all the crazies. They're going to look up Indiana and basketball. They're going to find the podcast and start listening.
All right. That's all I got. That's all I got.
All right. Next pod. We did not talk about any of this, but maybe we'll look at the schedule for next year and kind of dive into that a little bit, or maybe we'll dive into individual breakdowns of incoming recruits.
No, I think
super boring, actually. So maybe we should get into the schedule.
Yeah, we could get into the schedule. I don't know how good that will be because nothing's locked in stone. The schedule could change 3 more times. We almost know who's going to be on the roster and who's not going to be on the roster. Like maybe we look at a way advanced depth chart.
Depth chart talk.
Yeah, that's
DCT.
Yeah.
DCT.
That was look at you with Chucky Dubs and DCT. I love
That's what I do, man. Webitard show guy. Chris, big Chris Cody fan.
Gross.
That's what he does. Gross. So shout out Chris Cody at Chris Cody on Twitter, I think. COTE. Yeah, and that's it, dude. So let's wrap it up. I'll talk to you later.
As always, man. Elio.
Elio.
Elio. Awesome day. Elio. Thank you so much, Rick. I appreciate that. Elio.
All right, great. Elio.
Appreciate you guys. Elio. You're welcome, Dave. Have a great day. Elio.
Have a great day, Elio.
Appreciate you being here with us. Have an awesome day. And Elio. Oh, thank you so much. Elio.
Well, thanks so much, Elio.
Hey, thanks so much, Mike. Appreciate that. Elio. Appreciate you guys, man. Have an awesome day. Elio.
Awesome. Elio.
Elio.